I'm going to go with Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. I'm not going to go CeeDee Lamb. That's a little saucy, but I think Dak Prescott is an excellent start this week. It's not going to surprise me if he goes out there and gets similar numbers to what Russell Wilson was able to do last week against against the Falcons, throwing 4 touchdown passes. And Amari Cooper actually had and I'm saying actually because I was actually surprised, but actually had a really good game against the LA Rams. He was targeted 14 times, had 10 receptions. So that's where I'm going for my first stack. What about you, Kimmy?
All right, I am going with Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs, who are going up against the Miami Dolphins. Now, Josh Allen averages 31 fantasy points per game against the Dolphins, which is the most of any player has ever averaged against any team in NFL history. Now, Josh Allen has struggled with deep balls, but I do have a feeling that the Dolphins is a team that he's going to be able to try and do it against. Now, who is he going to be trying to target those deep balls to? It's Stefon Diggs, his very first year with the team. Diggs was targeted 9 times in week 1 versus the Jets, which was his second most targeted game in all of his career.
I love that one. That one's big. You know what? I'm gonna stick in the AFC. Can I go with Ben Roethlisberger and JuJu Smith-Schuster? Now, obviously, Ben Roethlisberger made his debut after missing most of the 2019 season and looked pretty good. And now he's got a good matchup against the Denver Broncos, who are obviously without Von Miller, but A.J. Bouye is also injured and will not be playing in this game. So I think this is a really great opportunity to get him back into the mix. And we saw how good JuJu can be when he has some good quarterback play. 2 touchdowns on Monday night. I can't guarantee 2 touchdowns, Kimmy. I can't do it. I would love to. I can't do it, but I still think it's a great stack.
All right, let's just talk about the number 1 stack from week 1. It was Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. Aaron Rodgers went out there and said, "Hold my beer, Jordan Love. Let me go put up a monster game in week 1, coming in second amongst all fantasy quarterbacks, finishing with over 30 fantasy points. He threw 4 passing touchdowns for 364 yards, which is just absolutely insane. But his number 1 target for that game on Sunday was Davante Adams, who finished as wide receiver number 1 in fantasy football. Now they're going up against the Lions this week, who have allowed the 5th most fantasy points to wide receivers in week 1. So Rodgers and Adams have another chance to go out and shine.
I mean, if Mitch Trubisky can do it, why not that Aaron Rodgers person? But I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. And I'm not going with Hollywood Brown. I'm going to go with Mark Andrews. And I think at some point, can we just say that Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback? Like, he's thrown 39 touchdown passes since the start of last season, including 3 in week 1. So you got to get him into your lineup. Even if he doesn't run the football, you got to get him into your lineup. And Mark Andrews, and I know Marcus has talked about it, and Kimmy, I know you talked about it last week. He now has to enter that conversation of elite tight end. So I know I got to be the guy that has the quarterback and the tight end, because I got to look cool, because I'm sitting here hanging out with you. But I'm going with Lamar and Mark Andrews.
I'm putting a pat on my back if you think I'm cool. All right, my final one is Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. It was a week 1 performance. I've hyped these guys all week, and that should be no surprise. It was literally a breakup revenge game for Hopkins to flex on Bill O'Brien. Now, between the 2 of them, they combined for 55.4 fantasy points and 242 rushing yards. Hopkins was targeted 16 times, whereas no other Cardinal player had more than 5 targets, showing that Nook is Murray's duo. That is his guy, and they're going to continue to ball.